Started. I have everything on, I hope. Yes, I do. Let me know if my mic's a little bit weird. I was messing around with settings last night, so hopefully it's gonna be fine. How's it going, guys? We are back with House Dayne. Just a heads up, today will be a short stream. It'll be around 2 hours. I've got some server stuff to do and then some other stuff to do later, but we are gonna stream today, so we will keep this going. Just a reminder, when we left off last time, we had successfully, finally, after well over a decade, managed to get a hook upon our liege after the death of King Laren, and we were able to get one on Lord Paramount Angron, who's very young, after being able to blackmail him for his deviancy, which someone else let everyone know, but we've got a lot on him. So, using that, we were able to go to war with God's grace. It was looking to be a very close war, because it had appeared at first that the Lord Paramount will be joining against us. We managed to secure several very strong alliances, giving us the power to succeed. It was about equal though, but when we entered the war, the Lord Paramount did not join, and we were able to defeat all the allied armies of the house of, I want to say Illyrians? Yeah, the Illyrians, one by one, and we established a holding there, which we have given to our firstborn bastard, who we have legitimized, Lord Lewin Dayne. Now, he was a bastard, but we've had quite a few of them at this point. I believe we've had 4 bastards. Yes, we've had 4 of them, and he's the only one that we legitimized. We talked to the High Septon and everything. We did that in order to honor a promise we made with House Fowler, due to the fact that we married him to one of their children. So he will inherit a large duchy title there at some point in the future. So we have finally managed to do some measure of expansion, not the easy kind. It's very hard in this mod unless you just want to use gaming mechanics, which I really try not to. So we have grown a lot stronger. What's up, Hyper? What's up, NKGC? What's up, Orion? What's up, Emperor? What's up, Cheese? What's up, Escova? Hope everyone's doing good today. Has Lewin done anything of major value? Not yet. He's very young. He's only 16. He's a beautiful child, or I guess an adult now. Patient, zealous, stubborn, and sadistic. So, an interesting guy. Potential, but we haven't seen him do a lot quite yet. And then he is betrothed to that young Fowler as well, to get us a nice alliance. I wish this stream was from 2 to 6. I may move back to Wednesday streams going forward. There's no way I can this week. There's just too much in the afternoons. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. I spoke about this before, like the big goal for this campaign and when I will end is going to be when we become the Lord Paramount of Dorne. That was my goal for this campaign. I always wanted us to get our way there and just kind of enjoy the ride. I think CK3 is at its best when you don't metagame, but you also have goals that you slowly go towards. And I think rushing it just makes it kind of meaningless, right? You know, there's a really folksy saying I could say, but I'm not going to. But we're getting closer to that point. I don't know if we will get it in the lifetime of Lord Arthur. It's possible, but we are very much on the way. The Martells have become really good people, kind of to their own, I think, damage in many ways. This is a very brutal world. Ruling is brutal, but ruling in Game of Thrones is a different kind of level, right? So I think their own really good nature is what we'll be able to take advantage of, because, you know, we're unscrupulous. Our father was, our grandfather was very noble, but he was the last, and our son is also looking to be, you know, vengeful, gluttonous, but patient and humble. So, that Mames, oh my gosh, when did that happen? So we're on the path. Thank you for the sub, Adlord. Appreciate that, man. What's up? How's it going, Drunko Nero? Been watching the House Dayne VODs during work hours. Thanks for the entertainment. You're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed them. I am very close to being done on getting the second part of the VOD for House Dayne uploaded. I need to get rid of all the copyright. I don't normally do that. Like, I just throw up my videos when they're copyrighted and they're not monetized, so I don't make like the, you know, 50 cents I usually, which is finally. But for some reason, this is like the only VOD I've ever had where it would say that, like, I could upload it. It said I get no money, but it said I could upload it to YouTube, and I tried, and every time right after, it would just not, it would ban it and say, this is banned content. And it's like, what? But you said I could upload it. So anyway, we'll see. Thank you for the Prime Krieger. Appreciate that. Thank you the 4 months. And thank you, Cheese, for 6. Is it that already? My God. Goddamn, time really goes, doesn't it? Jesus Christ. I appreciate that, y'all. So anyway, the VODs will be up on YouTube because Twitch deletes them very quickly. Alrighty, let's get back into things. So, like I said, we have successfully just won a war to be able to establish ourselves in a larger periphery. Lord Arthur, at this point, I'd say would probably be one of the most famous men in Westeros. We come from not just a distinguished family, but one known for their exceptional martial prowess. Not only are we known for that, but we achieved that in our own lifetime, right? Lord Arthur is the greatest tournament knight of this generation, without question. He's won 2 grand tournaments, one of the greatest being in King's Landing after the end of Robert's War, and a ton of smaller and mid-level tournaments. So he is a very well-known, respected man. He'd also be pretty infamous at this point, given it's not very well hidden that he's sired 4 bastards, and he is, he's legitimized all of them. Well, not legitimized. He's, publicly acknowledged every single one. We've had 5, 1 died. Every one of them, he's publicly made clear they were his children. And our wife still loves us too, which is, I don't get that. But, so we're very famous. Now to cap that off, with a very hostile war against another noble house would kind of really establish him as an incredibly famous but controversial figure, meaning we can't really do much without being pretty closely looked at. We also may get living legend in his lifetime, which I really did not expect. We're very close. We're very close. So that would be pretty cool. So at this point, I think Lord Arthur, for the most part, would be pretty happy with where he's at. Everyone he's got wanted to get revenge on has either died or he has contributed to their death. Generally speaking, he's quite old. He can't win tournaments anymore. He's kind of in the twilight of his life, right? I mean, 60s in Westeros is fucking old, so. I would like your grandson Felix Dayne to become the squire of Pellegrin Whitehead. It's not right. Pellegrin Whitehead. Absolutely not. He's not that bad, but he's, well, he's not a bad knight. Well, we lost anyway. That's fine. Who is Felix's guardian? It is still Cassiel. Good. What? He died from being maimed. Oh, the 7 who are 1. How could you do this to Arthur? If I have sinned, why did you not punish me instead? He was blameless. My perfect son. Fuck. Arthur just died. Our son. He's the one who went to Old Valyria and came back with a dragon egg, too. How the fuck did he get maimed? Yeah? Won't even tell us how he died. Damn. Yeah, he lost an arm. They tried to fucking amputate his arm and he died. Jesus, that is heavy. To be fair, he chose not to wear the mustache. You don't have any protection from the gods about the mustache of House Dayne, but still, that does suck. He wasn't perfect, but he was a very solid son, and I'd fully expected we would play him. Lore-wise, how do y'all think he died? We have nothing. The game doesn't give us a log, so I guess we don't know how he died. No idea. All right. Who's our heir then? Our grandson, Felix Dayne. He is 11. He is fairly competent. He's not fantastic. He's rowdy and impatient and handsome. We're gonna... We'll probably take him under our wing. We'll take him under our wing. There's no way with our arrogance and with our paranoia, we would allow anyone else to educate our heir, our grandson. There's no way. Not a chance. We'll make him our squire too. Getting super stressed out. Yeah, that'll do it. All right. Should be fine. In the war, perhaps? That's true. That's very true, Demon. We'll go with that. We'll say that during the war of Arthur's ambitions to establish a dynasty for a second son, really a fourth son, he marched on an enemy, his equivalent, if not his superior. And although things seemed great, though we beat their armies time and time again and pushed them back, having no problem, it was in that great battle of House Royce when they landed alongside the allies of our enemies, where despite facing victory for our martial prowess, our son was maimed in battle, his arm cut to shreds, and during it, he was taken back to Starfall, where the Maester attempted to cut off his arm, as it had gone too far. He did survive, but lasted only several weeks before succumbing to his wounds with us and the rest of his family. A tragic end to that. God damn. The price of ambition. Got infection on the trip to the Valyria. Now that could be too. Hiding his grayscale infection. Given he lost the arm, that would make a bit of sense though, wouldn't it? What's up, Haggy? What's up, Lou? Lou! You know you're watching CK3, right? I wouldn't want you to get too scared, you know, or not realize what you're watching. What's up, man? How you doing? Loving CK3 too much. This is an amazing game. It's going to be the best Paradox game, and it's already better than CK2. Changed my mind. Trying to impress his father destroyed him. Yeah, I'd say all the above. Fucking hell. You like living too much. In Game of Thrones, when you enjoy life and you're not a shitty person completely, it's a really bad recipe. And we had a mental breakdown. Life has never been easy, but it feels like the loss of my son Arthur has pushed me over the edge. I still remember him as a baby, so tiny, so fragile. Despite that, he survived, growing up, growing older, until now, when he suddenly stopped. I had so many hopes for his future, so many things I wish to see, which will never come to pass. All right, we can become a drunk, we can become a confider, or we can press on. We're paranoid, we're arrogant, we've never been much for drinking, so we're going to not deal with our problems. Which reduced our stress for some reason, that's odd. No, he got frozen with grief, that's what he got. Diplomacy reduction, major health reduction. Ah, shit, okay. That's not fantastic. It's either CK3 or actually pay attention to work, so I'm going with my beard, bro. Yeah, no, I respect that. I respect that. I can be the means by which you delay work. Alright, let's try and train our grandson. Swordsmanship. He's a Dane. He'll take to it. I clicked horse riding. God damn it. He's good at that too. I feel at 11 he couldn't ride a horse. I think we'd have a major problem, wouldn't we? Also, we are, I believe, the spy master on our liege's council. Yes, we are. For some reason, Lord Angron thought it was a good idea to give us spy master, despite our well-known proclivity towards scheming. Not very good at hiding it either. Simeon brought my grandson Felix to the market today. Felix was to hand out alms to the poor and needy, to learn about charity and the ruler's plight to the less fortunate. He refused to give a single coin to anyone. Our septum explains, everyone we met were either undeserving or beneath him. In the end, he kept the gold. Good lad. Good lad. Someone taught him something properly. All right. And he can actually use a sword. Good. At this point, I don't think Arthur would be the type to really go for major titles. We wouldn't try and make a shot, I think, at all of Dorne. The other option we could still try and do is forge the kingdom of the Torrentine, which would be the Torrentine, Blackmont, Princess Pass, and Sandstone. This was the historical borders. And I believe if you found a separate kingdom, you could actually become one still within the 7 kingdoms. So it'd become the 8 kingdoms. We could try and do that. Where is Dawn? Above our fireplace. We are not able to wield it. Dawn in the mod has a requirement to become a Sword of the Morning, which is that you have to have good traits and be competent as a swordsman, or you have to be an absolutely god being with like 4-star education for martial, which we didn't get. So we were not deemed worthy to wield Dawn. Nor is anyone since Arthur Dayne, the original one, when he did die at the Tower of Joy in this timeline. The hustle and bustle is palpable among the traveling merchant stalls. The temporary shacks are stacked to the rafters and contain all manner of knickknacks. These pieces are positively radiant and look like a lovely gift. We'll get something for our wife. We have the weirdest relationship with Maria. We've publicly cheated on her for decades, and she still completely loves us. Blows my mind. Felix struggled with swordsmanship. Are we sure he's our dynasty? Dearest Arthur, it's so good to see you. I watch you as you dutifully rule our realm and would like to assist in any way I can. She looks over her shoulder. I may have. Let's not dwell on what I did in the matter, but let's say that I have a mutual acquaintance who owes me a favor. She winces as if remembering something important. I could keep my eye peeled for some uncouth behavior coming our way. Alright, she's going to give us a hook on Master Jareth. Not someone we really need one on, but useful. So those events are from the spy system that the mod adds. One that really I think vanilla should incorporate properly. Where if you, really anywhere you have range, you can try and make someone your spy. It costs money and they need to like you. I wish there was a way to just like sort by ones you could get. Otherwise you have to just go look around like absolutely everywhere. So like recruit spy. It's very hard to do if they like their liege though. And given we're in Dorne with very good rulers right now, it's a bit rough on us. All right. If our grandson fails us with a sword, I think we're gonna have to use the rod. I mean, this is Game of Thrones. Could not grasp the techniques I was demonstrating. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Our grandson and heir is really not taking to the sword. You can't inherit as a member of House Dayne if you can't use the basics of a sword. I mean, we'll have to look at other options, won't we? Essos is in the game, you just can't go there and can't look at it. They have like it defined in the map, but they haven't added any of it yet. They haven't even added the stepstones. They wanted to do, I think, in portions to do the flavor really well, which is cool. I was able to fetch a secret Ingrid tries to protect, who is our maester. He is a lover. Our maester has a lover. Oh, nice. Our septon. Our septon and our maester are lovers. That's unexpected. Alrighty, well, we'll take him riding again. He was alright with that. Hey, you can ride a horse. I mean, you can't become a Lord of House Dayne if you can't become a solid swordsman. That's just not an option. I will disinherit him. There's no way we wouldn't do that. We need a new spy master. We are going to go for... We'll go for Teresa Corgile. She's the widowed wife of our son who died and the mother of Felix. So we'll put her on our court. She's going to be very loyal to us because her son is going to inherit. And given we're a paranoid bastard, we would definitely want that. I would like to become your son Eric Dayne's knight personally. Lord Cranston of Blackmont? Absolutely not. We'll never let our children be brought up with a Blackmonts. How did that work? It will not let us choose her anymore, I guess. That's weird. We'll go with Lady Coralie of Starcrossing then. She's fairly competent. Alright, there we go. Finally! Finally! You know, I think this is a case of we just have to take him out every morning and trade him. And if he gets fucked up, I mean, that's his choice, right? Like, if he can't block our sword, you know, the greatest tourney knight in Westeros. That's really his choice. So he'll get better or he won't. That boy's not a Dane. It's looking that way, isn't it, Killing Moon? I'm a little worried here. Oh boy. Dawn has similar requirements to CK2. Horribly difficult to actually use it, but so satisfying. Exactly. It makes it so much better when you do. That being said, this whole campaign, we've never been able to wield it, so it's kind of funny. But yeah, if we get it, it'll be cool. Colma polymathcule. What? Is that on Urban Dictionary? Can I look that up? Have you read the Song of Ice and Fire books? Yes. So do you think the Darkstar will still dawn in the books like Sam still Heartsbane in the show? If you can get away with it, yes. I think, like, in the current plot of the book series, it's looking very likely Darkstar will get fucking murdered for this stupid shit he's done. But if he's not dead, yes, of course he'll try and steal it. That man has no moral qualms. And realistically, he's probably a great enough swordsman to wield Dawn anyway. Because isn't Dawn's back home in Starfall in the books right now, right? I don't think anyone's currently wielding it, is it? I forget. I haven't read the books in, I'd say, 4 years. It's been a long time. If I use the Hamu coin to name a child, can I also request a life path for them, or just the name? Sure, if you'd like to. Most people don't, but yeah, I'm fine with it. As long as it just, like, makes no sense, right? You know, because as long as you keep that in mind. But yes, like, if it's our heir and we're the Danes and you choose, like, you know, a scholarship focus, doesn't make a lot of sense. But beyond that, sure. Oh, the Septon and the Maester? I see. I don't know anything about Game of Thrones, but he sounds base. The Darkstar? Oh, can someone link the lore page on him? He's really interesting. He's an absolute asshole. Yeah, it's back in Starfall, I believe. Yeah. My child Eric has suddenly become an age in which he is able to be squired. Perhaps I could summon a vassal of my realm to squire him. Lord Clarion of Late Bloom. He's very competent, absolutely. He'll be good for Eric. I'm sparring with my night soldiers, sweat beating on my forehead when I experience the uncanny sensation of being watched. Looking over my shoulder, I spot my knight Erich, eyeing me while nonchalantly swinging his axe back and forth. We tried to befriend him, and we thought we were gonna murder him the last session. He's the son of that original Ironborn knight we got way back in the day, who was a beast, and he's a very competent swordsman too. But my lord, would you not prefer to test your skills against me instead? You're goddamn right. Get that axe out, boy. The sounds of spear clashing against axe echoes between the courtyard walls. All eyes are on us. Everyone wants to see their lord fighting his knight. The crowd applauds as I lunge, and their admiration makes me bold. Instead of pulling back, I attempt a new technique I've been practicing. The movements flow through me and into my spear as if we were one, and Eric is defenseless before me. Well, he may be competent, but he's not the greatest tourney knight in all Westeros, is he? We can wound him. No, we're not. We're an asshole, but we're not that bad. All right, we got a lot of money. Let's put it into Starfall here. We'll upgrade the guardhouses. Defense would always be in our mind. All right, he's getting there. I think more than anything else, this was due to the fact that he didn't have a good teacher before. Poor Felix. Man, well, I almost said it's a good thing our son died, but that's not quite true. I'm glad that we did take to taking over his education ourselves. Otherwise, he would have come of age without knowing how to use a sword, and that would have been unacceptable and embarrassing. God damn it. Felix! There needs to be a mod that allows the option for you to beat your child if they don't do it, if they don't develop properly. Because this is the medieval era. Parental abuse is required. Our daughter-in-law Delone has been given birth to a son from our second son Bernard. Another Arthur. Another Arthur. Flipped. God damn it. Fuck. I stand by what I said. It's true. You all know it's true. Parental abuse was like the most common thing. I mean, it still happens a lot in the West, but like up until I'd say like the early 90s, it was the default parenting style. Let's be real. Now it's just emotional abuse, I suppose, more than anything else. But it's not, I don't know. Like, if you talk to your grandparents or even your parents, they'll tell you stories about getting beat. Like, they will. If they're honest. Or they just came from, like, a fucking, you know, Quaker family or something and were actually raised right. But that's rare. Your parents and grandparents were probably beaten as children. It was just how it was. I'm proud to see my son no longer as a child, but as an adult. For the longest time, I was hoping that good tutelage would be enough to teach Bellamy the intricacies of warfare. I was naive. He has developed a basic understanding. Jesus, yeah. Dutiful captain, but a skilled fighter. I'm gonna say it. He's an embarrassment. That's what this is. He's an embarrassment. Now, he was one of our bastards, though, so we can at least talk about that if people bring up our incompetent son. We'll just kind of let him slowly leave court. Gotta see the popular all the time in your workshop and beat your child. Fuck. All right, there he goes. Come on. Man, we're too old for this shit. We don't have the peace of mind to deal with the stress of a grandson who can't even use a fucking sword as a Dane. This is not how we were supposed to spend our glorious retirement. We will get him a wife, though, even if he is a bastard. Not a princess. We'll do someone in our own realm. We'll get him into a royal family at the very least. He is deserving of that. She's too old, though. We'll betroth him to Dalla Tallheart. From a good family. Not a great family, but one befitting his rank and meager capacity with the sword. But he is of our blood. And we do need more Danes. How many do we have now? We're up to 12. Remember, we got all the way down to only 5 Danes left, so one of our big things is we have to keep the dynasty alive here. It's getting a little worrying. Our plate armor. Alright, let's get Eric a guardian. He's very competent diplomatically, which is what we gave him education-wise. Maybe another lord. Not a lot of competent lords, are there? My gosh. Lady Elise would be a good guardian. She's very capable, and it'll give us a chance to get to know her better. We'll offer Eric as a ward, and she'll take it. Good. The Salt Shore. We are happy to accept your proposed education arrangement, a noble upbringing for a noble spirit. Time to lose your grandson in the woods. No, it's a hunting accident. He shot himself with his own bow. Somehow. Many treatises have been written on honorable conduct in war. Those officers' lives weren't on the line when they were putting pen to paper. We're gonna practice a new technique. We got this last time. If the child beating mod releases, can we get a wife beating mod? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, that's also accurate. I mean, historically that was a common thing. I don't know. That's a little rough for man. Keep banging, y'all. Good bad thing is that a domestic violence mod would be allowed on stream as it's a conflict with Paradox's vision. What the, really? I'm gonna follow. Let me get the name on that. Oh, my Twitch open, do I? Bear with me. There we go. I'm gonna follow Clotito7. Next generation is going to be real messed up but interesting. They are. There's a lot of them, too. That's the fun part, right? There's a lot of Danes. And some of them are going to have titles, so... We might get House of the Sword? Instead of House of the Dragon? House of the Star? I don't know. Civil War. The memory of a lord. What man does not hope to rest when tired, his work surrounded, the happy retired, and hope only for memory's grace that their history finds true place. Sure, it was fantastic. He shot himself with his own bow twice. Well, he shot both up in the air as a dare with some other children, right? And they both just happened to hit him. It was very strange. Sure, not one allowed on stream. They removed like stuff like that in the past. There are other sites for those mods. Really? I didn't know that. That makes sense. I don't disagree with that, but yeah. It is kind of ignoring history. I have personally no desire to actually do that in a campaign, but I also don't think that they should be able to stop people from doing that because it is historically true, right? I mean, but then again, actually like doing it to an excessive degree is a little much. All right, swordsmanship. Good. Let's even goad Blackmont again. I really want to get a feud. I was trying not to like edit it into the game, so we'll try and goad Lord Kristen again. We're gonna send him a very passive-aggressive letter talking about how we're happy to take over the guarding of our mutual border due to the low quality of his troops and how they're always sleeping. So, no, he didn't feud with us. God damn it. I do wish there were more active ways you could start feuds. Because Friends and Foes was a fantastic DLC. Should have been free, as always, but it was good for that stuff. I just wish you could be more active in choosing it. I get making it a more natural sort of thing, but sometimes, especially if it's a historic thing, I think there should be ways to do it. Alright, swordsmanship again. Good. Let's go hunting. We're old. We're relaxing. What do you do when you're old? You golf. And hunting is the medieval equivalent of golf, so we'll go do that. No, I don't want it either. Let me clarify. I don't actually have any desire to do that in streams. But I also kind of am conflicted about whether that should be allowed or not. The hunting trip has been less than fruitful so far. Some of our party appear to have been given up completely or are attempting to make the best of a lovely day outside. What on earth is Conrad doing? He's crouching down on the ground, humming cheerfully. This is the man whose title we stole. He used to be a duke. Like, he used to have a huge title. We took that from him. My lord, look. There are many useful herbs and flowers here. This one can soothe aches, while this one aids in the recovery from a broken toe. And this one is great to ward off the great pox. Let's accuse him of witchcraft. Are you practicing witchcraft, Conran? Is that what this is? Are you a goddamn witch? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we can have a lord who's a witch. I don't know about that. All right, it was a good hunt. We didn't get anything, but well, apparently the Illyrians are witches. I don't know if we can have a witch ruling God's grace here. Well, we might have to let the High Septum know about such scandalous behavior. No, it is tasteless. But I'm just saying, if like some absolute prick wants to stream it, should a game company have the right to like deny historical realism for their own like clout? Maybe, I don't know. That's a tough one. There's no good answer there. Witchcraft, my beloved. Arthur, you dunce, I love you. He's not a smart man. He's not a smart man. He's many things. That is not one of them. What sort of names do you have in mind for cadet branches if House Dayne gets larger? That I'm not too sure about, actually, Burgundy. Because in the lore, in the books, there's actually a cadet branch in the lore. High Hermitage, which is just like House Dayne's at the start in the mod. In like the actual lore, they're an actual cadet branch of House Dayne, but I believe they're just referred to as House Dayne of High Hermitage. There's no like actual difference. Yeah, we have 0 Diplo. That's important to remember of Arthur. My grandson Felix has been harboring a secret affection for Eleanor for some time. However, when he finally confessed his feelings, Eleanor responded harshly. Now Felix mutters whenever he passes by. Vengeful. Yeah. You know, Some will tell you that forgiveness is good. The vengeance have no merit. Grandson, there's nothing better than the feeling of getting revenge on those who have harmed you. He's wise, at least. He may not be good with a sword, but he understands life already. He's just becoming us. Arrogant and vengeful already. Oh, fuck. And he did not do well in it, yet again. Let's try and fabricate a hook on our liege again. We would see him as being very weak, which he is. He's very well liked, but he's a deviant and people don't have much respect for him. And we've got a very big presence in Sunspear. Given we're also spy master, we're going to try and fabricate a hook on him. And if we get it, we're going to force him to reduce our taxes in our vassal contract. I understand you are interested in deepening your grasp on warfare. Lady Katrine runs the hands through her hair as she approaches me. I might be able to see the battlefield in new ways. Katrine is well known for her mastery of all manner of tactics. She's not a great lord, she's not a commander, and she's a woman. So we're going to not respect her, and we'll say no. Arthur's not the type to go on like a, you know, like a Disney-style movie to learn about like the true meaning of friendship and warfare and learn like better ways. He's not going to do that. He's the type to be very set in his ways, including the really bad ones, let's be honest. God Danes, an affection of the Karstarks. That's actually interesting. God Danes. I do like that. If we get a cadet branch, remind me and I'll rename it to that. You know, at least we know the source of Arthur's baggage. I got beat by an adult who threatened to kill him. Yeah. No, he does have, I guess, a fairly good reason for his paranoia. Yeah. I was able to fetch a secret Aaron tries to protect one of our knights. He is a lover. I mean, so do we. Can't really high horse that one. Yeah, the cycle of violence, true. What kind of faiths are there in the mod? Let's look. I think they've added most of them. They're going to add more flavor. Drowned God, Warring Star, Where Would the Seven, Bailerism, Roina, the Bearded God, Faith of the Eight. Hold on. Storm God, Service of the Star, Bronze Gods, that's the Veil. Damn, I actually added that. That's cool. Lady of the Waves, Princely Arbiter, Rillor, obviously, the Red God, the Trios, Weeping Ready, and the Gods of Valyria. They actually did add. That's cool. Rulers have a conquest cast a spell against neighboring rulers. Yeah, that's about right. That's not right. I'm sure they're going to work on it. But yeah, a lot of them they've already added in. Just need to work on it. My lord, I was cleaning your artifacts collection as usual, and I spotted a spear in utter disrepute. Your stone Dornish spear. Now, we'll keep it and we'll repair it. Our grandfather commissioned that sphere. And despite him being much better than us in every way, morally at least, we did love him, so we'll repair it. Let's repair all of our artifacts. They're getting pretty outdated. Our son wishes to enter into alliance with us. We'll say yes. We want him to retain his position, so we don't want him getting conquered by someone. Imagine Arthur versus Lysandro in a duel. Arthur would probably win that. Lysandro, remember, he was never, like, the best swordsman. He was just ruthless, brutal, and an amazing commander who could come back from losses. Like, that's what made Lysandro so, like, different, built different, you know? He was never the greatest swordsman. In fact, like, if you remember, he lost a lot of duels. But he just planned, came back, and then fucked everyone after. So, he won in the end. Arthur's not that type. He's the type to get really fucking petty if he loses and goes sulk. Like, if he doesn't win. Lysandro's not that dude. He's the dude who will go immediately plan your murder. As Squire Felix's, it is my responsibility to train them. We'll go with swordsmanship again. I went back and I watched the Lissandro episodes last week because they're my favorite videos I've ever done. Not because they're especially well edited. It's just that like his life was so fucking interesting. I really want to get back to heavily modded CK3, which reminds me. Oh, I'll take a moment to talk about this actually real quick. Because I set this up. I'm changing how campaigns are going to be done. I put out a couple announcements about this in case you didn't see them. And I'm just going to point this out very quickly. We'll get back to the game, I promise. I've added a new way to vote on campaigns. So I've got like, you know, I used to use like that big Discord Babylon Roleplay for like, you know, my personal stuff. I don't anymore. That's all just like multiplayer stuff. In my own Discord now, I do have like a way I'm going to start doing voting for campaigns, which is going to be, I'm doing whole write-ups on them, and then people can vote on them. I used to do one or two things. I'd either just decide them myself, or I'd put out like YouTube polls, but now I'm doing this on the Discord. So I'll do like full write-ups. I'll link like the mods we're going to use. I'll do the goals, and then what it is, the campaign, and then you can vote on them yourself. So if you want to choose campaigns, this is how we're doing it now. I'm trialing it with CK3 and Vic. So the one that's winning right now, which I think would be fun, is the one that someone brought up 2 sessions ago, which is using the really in-depth trade mod for CK3 for a Venice campaign. And we do super modded, so we can do a lot of fun stuff. Because Game of Thrones mod is nice, but it'll take a little while to be able to actually get a lot of the, I think, flavor mods to work properly on it. So just heads up on that. I got Mommy Kipriana flashbacks. You know what I love about Kipriana? Is every single one of our current problems can be traced back to her actions. Almost every single one of them, if you think about it, really. Like, why are we absolutely, like, fucked right now? A lot of it goes back to Kipriana murdering it, like, most of the French royal family, if we're honest. Yeah, the Venice one will be fun. My agents have made contact with Timian, a servant in my liege, Lord Paramount Angron's castle. With the right incentive, he's willing to start some whispers about Lord Angron not being nearly as elegant as he seems. Let's do it. I want to get this hook. We need to lower our taxes. That child in Sunspear is taxing us at an exorbitant rate. Look at that. We pay as many taxes as everyone else. When we're the greatest knight in all of Westeros, we should be paying almost none. The difference is not substantial, but it matters. It's a matter of respect. Oh, our old lover. Lord Arthur, for you to murder, I feel like there's no friendship left between us. She was not someone we had any interest in continuing a relationship with anyway, so that's fun. We are publicly known as a murderer, by the way. Our current liege's father, Lewin, was the one who actually found out about us murdering our rival, that peasant woman, and publicly telling everyone. So we do have a bone to pick with the Martells, too. We're not outright feuding with them. I wish we could make that happen, but we are going to seek revenge. I think it'll be the next generation that goes after them, and that'll be the one I try and take Lord Paramount status. So, we have to hope that Felix comes out all right. He's not bad, to be fair. His stats are okay. Remember that Andrea did good things, but also set the whole bloodline up for trouble by being such an alcoholic? True. That's what I love about grand campaigns. You make a little decision, like in one game early on, that you think is just so trivial. And then, like, you know, 20 sessions later, 2 games later, something goes horribly wrong for you, and you sit there and go, I know what caused this. It's fucking funny. Arthur the Libertarian says taxation is theft. He's treading on us, so we have to stop him. Who is the mother of our legitimized bastard? I think that one was Kipriana, actually. No, that was Aaron. That was Aaron. Yeah. Well, he has white hair. We kind of lost the white hair in our bloodline for a little bit here, but it's back with that cadet branch. Timian brought my grandson Felix to market today. Felix was to hand out alms to the poor and needy, to learn about charity and the ruler's plight to the less fortunate. The perceptive child gave something to everyone. And when the purse runs dry, he insisted that we go get another. Very selfless. Maybe even excessively so. Oh, god damn it. He's generous. Felix! What are you doing? I'm worried. I think Arthur would be very worried about the future of House Dayne right now, because we're in a very kind of rough position, right? We do have more members of House Dayne, but he also sired like 9 children who all have claims on his titles, and he knows that. He also founded a cadet branch with his bastard son, who's fairly competent, all things considered. If we have an heir too weak, all of this could go very bad, so we know that, and be sweating bullets right now. We have a granddaughter from our second son. We'll give her an intrigue focus. What can go wrong? I am surprised that we only ended up killing one person. We killed more than one person technically, but it was done through events and like tournaments, so we didn't get the kill for it technically. Let's try strategy. Not a chance. No surprise there. Man, I don't know what to do with this kid. Let's see if we can get him a new guardian. He doesn't have much time left. We'll send him to Aaron Solani. He's our greatest knight at present. He's an ugly fucking bastard. Hey, he doesn't have his helmet on! Aaron, we talked about this. No, never mind. That's Dominic. We have a lot of ugly knights, don't we? Where's Aaron Solani? He's also a fucking ugly bastard. Jesus Christ. Fuck. We'd make him wear a fucking helmet, but he's tutoring our son, so we don't want to insult him. We'll just try to avoid him in corridors. Send him to the maesters. If we do that, he can't inherit, and he'll become a full-on maester. What did I miss? Our son and heir, Arthur, has died, and our heir is now our grandson, Felix, who's, like, really not taking to swordsmanship, and is kind of struggling here. That's the main thing. Our daughter came of age. She's one of our bastards. She's the giant. Grisella Sand. She became a skilled tactician. Honest, vengeful, humble, and compassionate. Very poor. Not a very competent individual. We'll try and find her a husband at the very least, though. Not at all. There we go. We can marry her to a forester. I don't know about that. A Hightower? Matrilineally? There's no way. She's not competent, right? She's really not. Giants are not liked in Westeros, and add on top of that, like, she's a big woman, also not liked, and she's a strong woman, not liked. And on top of that, she's not very competent. So, she get a very modest husband. Like, we're gonna find her, like, a second son of a minor house is what we'll do. I do want to play these marriages out correctly. One of the biggest things that pisses me off, especially when I watch, like, other, like, CK3 content, is people, like, marry their incompetent children to, like, princes and areas, and it's just like, I used to do it too all the time when I didn't roleplay, but it doesn't make sense. Here we go. The brother to the lady of a minor house. He'd be fitting. Is he also a giant? No, just very tall. We'll do that. As I make my way back from the sept, Lady Tara of Red March approaches me with a lascivious grin. Arthur, I know you and I both relish in our enemies meeting their just desert. The septa call joy at the suffering of others sinful. I believe we are merely the deliverers of divine justice. After all, who can tell us how the seven who are one would want to live? We clearly have more in common than not. And I think that I should spend more time together away from the rotten brains of simple people. Not like the other girls, don't you know? What are my neighbors doing? No. No, we're old and paranoid. We're basically isolating at this point. Matry? Keep those genes in the family. But you gotta remember though, like the giant trait would be like seen as a bad thing. Generally speaking. Big, like really big and tall and strong, very good. Giant, like mega giant, bad thing. Because not only is it like seen as weird and different, which people in medieval eras like Game of Thrones didn't like. I mean, like it'd also be associated to a degree with like the Northmen, with the old gods, and with those beyond the wall. So it'd be seen as very negative, right? Big mommy. Also, Barcel seems like a not so memorable king, but the siege of Rome hits different. True. Barcel did like nothing important until he did everything important and sacked Rome. He was just like, you know, I've got like 8 generations of ancestors who have been defining and incredibly important. What am I gonna do to have my name actually remembered? I know, I'm gonna sack Rome. And he did. And we remember him. Marrying your incompetent son to a foreign princess for alliance is absolutely historical. Yes, you're right. You're right. You're right. Absolutely. If you're also a great house, yes, because they wouldn't have any knowledge. But if you're a low one. Speaking of that, there's a mod I want to try in one of our next playthroughs. I don't know how like enjoyed it would be. I like it a lot. There's a mod that lets you not see the stats on anyone. I forget the name of it. I can go look it up later. But there's a really good mod I want to include in one of our campaigns to test out, just because I think it'd be interesting. Where basically anytime you look at someone who you don't know really well, who's not like a family member or like a close friend, all their stats will appear as question marks. Like, has anyone like played Football Manager by chance? That's a game I really enjoy. One of the really cool parts of Football Manager for me personally is finding good young talent and developing it. I think it's one of the most interesting parts of that game is finding people who you really just don't know if they're going to be good or not, right? But they might have potential. And so your job in that game with scouting and with developing talent is to like use scouts and find ways to tell if someone is competent or not. And if they are, you know, develop them and train them. This mod is similar in that like you don't know any of their traits. You don't know their sexuality. You don't know like almost everything. You know the big things. You know their titles. You know their age. You know really obvious traits you can't hide, right? So like, you know, if they're a giant, you're gonna know they're a giant. But if they're intelligent, if they've got 1 martial but 50 diplo, you won't know that. So what will happen is if you have a little bit of knowledge on a character, you'll have like stats, which can be wrong. It will literally give you wrong stats. But most of the time you just don't know. I think it'd be cool for a lot of reasons. It means for marriages, for characters you get as knights or vassals, for people on your council. You really don't know how competent they are, and you kind of have to play that game of gauging people's actual capacity, which is something a leader has to do, right? Is you have to find competent ministers, competent vassals, competent leaders, competent knights, right? And half of the struggle of a leader is not knowing if someone is competent enough and figuring it out. And I think it'd be a really cool component to include in, especially the single player campaigns. So, ran over. Thank you to Prime, Big Petrov. What's up, man? How you doing? Thank you for 2 months. You know if they have lover's pox. No, you don't. Nope. If they had bad traits, you don't know either. Unless it's, again, really, really obvious. So, if they're inbred, you don't know. If they're an imbecile, you probably know, because it's pretty clear. But if you've never met them before, you won't. So a lot of those traits, like, they have, like, ways of measuring, like, when you know, like, it happens. So if you've never met someone before in your life, you probably don't know some of their big traits. And especially with tours and tournaments, where like the distance element comes into play, right? Where if like you go and visit a court, you have a better idea of the people, but not a perfect one. I think it's so cool. I think it makes the game great. But I know many people I don't think would like that. I have started a series of vicious rumors against Lord Paramount Angron. None of them are true, and someone should decry them as obvious lies they are. What better way for than someone to have Angron in their debt? I think that's a very good idea. He's indebted to us, and he can pay off that debt right now. We're going to demand the right to counsel. We're going to demand that House Dayne, the most prestigious and greatest of the remaining families in Dorne, be always given a place on the council in Sunspear, for our name bears so much fame, so much glory, and so much prestige. To not have one of our family on the council would be an insult beyond belief, and we will use our hook. So we are always given the right to be on his council now, and his ancestors. We're just going to force as many concessions out of him as we can. We'd see him as weak. We're trying to build a future for House Dayne, and given our heirs may not be competent, we need to do the work for them now. That, but also House Taurus and the Papacy were good friends for so long until then. Then after the sack of Storm II repaired stuff, but then like a century later, House Taurus and the Papacy would hate each other. True. Yeah, the relationship with the Pope has been so back and forth. In the early days, the Popes really supported us. I mean, really supported us. Yeah, it's been interesting with them. Now, like us, they're getting very weak, but they've also fucked us repeatedly in the Treaty of Tortillas. Like, of those, like, EU4 events where you get claims over regions colonially, we've not gotten a single one from the Pope, so... Probably what's leading to us becoming so heretical, among other things. Let's host a feast. Also, I had to turn off the Fair Ladies and Fair Lords mod, which make characters look really good, because 1.9 update happened for them, and now they don't work for this update, sadly. Just heads up. Sucks. What right does Lady Katrine think she has to claim that my ideas of warfare are misguided? This is because we said no to being tutored by her. She's vengeful. But you know what? So are we! Claiming that my ideas would break down the moment combat is met. Interesting. Interesting. After eating next to each other for a while, I must say that I find something particularly intelligent because Lady Eleonora complimented me on how clever I was. In response, I smile intelligently back at my fellow scholar before I get occupied with the grease running down my chin. That's an Arthur moment right there. I do say some clever things at times. Yeah, well. Protestant Sardinia, Treaty of Tortilla. No, we'd probably go something else entirely. That's a really good mod. That's a really cool idea, and if I remember right, CK2 Plus did something similar, hiding traits until a certain age. Yeah, they did it specifically for, like, your traits. Like, there's also for CK3, there's one of those mods. So it will hide, like, intelligent, strong. I think even Giant got hid by that mod in CK2. And then you'd figure out when they come of age, right? And it would tell you then. This mod doesn't do that. It's permanent. So like your children, you know almost 100% accurately. Your advisors, if you're with them long enough, you'll learn. So like the closer you're with people over the longer periods, it'll start to be revealed and become more accurate. It's very holistic. All right, it was a very good feast. And our wife's happy. Nice. I still can't believe she loves us after everything we've done to that poor woman. Fuck. Video of Tortilla, yeah, it's the EU4 like thing that the Pope can do to basically give colonial regions to certain countries, and it's really biased. So they'll do it to countries they like. And if they hate us, hate countries like us, we're rivals with the Pope. We don't get anything, even though we're also like the first colonial power in the New World. We are still Catholic in the mega campaign, but we hate the Pope. True, and we're very tolerant. Well, not very. We're very tolerant of like elites being not Protestant, Catholic, I should say. That's the better way to put it. Maybe she wants Arthur to get around. She is chaste, to be fair. That does check out. Maybe our wife's just like straight up asexual and she's not religious. She's like well known. We know she's a non-believer. Maybe she's just like, I really don't give a shit. Like, do whatever you want, man. Probably. There definitely would have been a conversation at some point. I was able to fetch a secret that Timian tries to protect. We already know. Yeah, he's a sodomite, obviously. He has a male lover. Did we not put that together already? We already know that, like, our Septon and our fucking Maester are lovers. But apparently we hadn't connected the dots that they were both sodomites yet. As I said, Arthur is not an intelligent man. Alright, we can knight our son, Felix. He has come of age, by the way. Skilled tactician, unyielding defender, scarred, and a skilled fighter. It could be worse. He's not fantastic, but he's not great either. Yeah, it is a theme in these campaigns to not screw the wife, so checks out. We will need to find him a wife, though. And this is big. So let's take a look at this. We would be able to marry into a great house. We could go after the Aarons. They're ugly for some reason. Lana Baratheon. She's a member of the Baratheon family, but she's a farther out one. Dondarrion would be interesting. Westerling. Just a reminder, neither the Lannisters or the Tyrells are Lord Paramounts anymore. Both of them are just regular lords. Fucking Greyjoy? What? She's zealous. I'd do that, but she is zealous. That doesn't make any sense. Ooh. Shit, Greyjoy. We'll wait a little bit. I don't see anyone super solid. We'll wait till he's 18. We'll get him a wife when he's knighted at 18. We'll do it then. Let's hold a grand tournament too and give our son the chance to compete in it. And all our children, hopefully. Martell for a claim to Dorne. That would be a good marriage. There's like no one really, like there's super young children only to betroth to. And his father really doesn't like us, so he would realistically not accept this. We'll try and get another hook on our Lord Paramount. And if we do that, we'll use it to marry one of his daughters. The morning, of course, of twittering birds were accompanying me down to the cellar, the light of dawn giving way to gloomy darkness. Once my eyes adjust to the lack of light, a culinary tragedy is unveiled. Apple cores scattered crumbs, bones, flints clean to their meat. In shock, I look around the entire room, but everywhere my eyes land, they find yet more evidence. It's our fucking Septon. God damn it. Timian, what the fuck? We're gonna make him pay it back to us. Apparently he has the money. How the fuck is our Septon so wealthy? Thank you for the follow, Ackerman 811. Author's probably contemplating that at some point. Oh, he definitely would be. He's not innately ambitious, but we do want revenge, and we'd be willing to get revenge any way we can. His father did us a great slight, and we will not forget that. And, like, House Dayne has always... I mean, they were, like, unironically one of the greatest houses, besides probably the Euronwoods, to be vassalized by Nymeria. So, it's not like every generation doesn't pass down the stories of when they were kings and why. It's bullshit they're lords, right? The wilderness is calling out to me. It's been too long since I hunted. Out there in the hills of Starfall, there's plenty of hearts. Oh, let's get a hunting dog. Absolutely. My friend Lord Anston has been hovering around my council meetings lately. Knowing his interest in matters of leadership, I cannot help but feel the man is waiting for me to impress him. I could probably engage him in conversation. On the other hand, it might be better for him to simply see me interacting with his men. We're a straight fucking shooter, so we're gonna go talk to him. Who's the king of the north? It's still a Stark, I know that. We're gonna name our dog Dawn. It is Lord Paramount Hubbard. I believe he's the grandson of Eddard. No, great-grandson. It was Eddard. Then it was Windrin, the child killer. Then it was Leopold, who was a very competent man. And then now it's Hubbard, who's married to a Mormont. That's cool. Oh my god. He's actually as strong as we were at our height, in our glory years. My god, look at that. Yeah. Anyway. The king is also, just a reminder, King Axel. The AI decided that would be his name. Fuck. We have another secret on Alana, who is not important at all. But that's fine. Our wife means well. Alright, let's host this tournament. Hubbard is a Stormlander. Oh my god, you're right. How the fuck did that happen? I bet he was a ward of, like, the king or something, and got the culture. Oh my god, his heir is also a Stormlander. Was his father? This goes back a generation. Yeah, Leopold was also a Stormlander. That's horrifying. We'll let the Maester in. Alright, we're hosting a great tournament in Starfall. I think it'd probably be very large. I mean, given we are the most famous tournament night in recent history, a lot of people would come for the prestige, I'm sure. I wish the game would allow all our children to compete, because I think that'd be cool to train all the Danes at these tournaments, because then I'd actually host them often. The miserable kumquat at Eleanor makes my blood boil. How could the 7 who are one see fit to curse the earth with Eleanor's solitary cockiness? Alright, we've become a rival with Lady Eleanor of House Hull. We can't duel her. No surprise there. Where the fuck is she? She's one of the vassals in God's Grace we conquered. Very strong. Her family owns 2 holdings there. Not someone we want to have as a rival. Our son, Lewin, is in the tournament. He is the one we legitimized. He is going to be fighting Master Jareth. And he lost. God damn it. What is wrong with our fucking children? There was a time we were very, very strong. I mean, our generation was so competent. And that is no longer the case. Aaron Soleni has won our tournament. He is our greatest knight and admiral, so there's no surprise there. Our sons put on a pitiful display. At least Bernard I'd expect to do well. I mean, my god. Not a day passes by which shout Septentimian makes a mockery of me during his sermons. Because we know all his fucking secrets. Why is he doing this? That obsessed fiend is certainly what I am, an agent of the Lord of the 7 Hells, and will not rest until he has turned the peasantry against me. We're going to make everyone know that he's a sodomite, and that he's lovers with our maester. There we go. Now the whole world knows what he is. I mean, we're a petty, vengeful bastard. So, given that, I think we have a very valid excuse to imprison him. Enact that tyranny! What? Isn't homosexuality against the faith of the Seven in the lore? I'm 99% sure it is. So for a Septon to be, like, explicitly gay, wouldn't that mean we could get rid of him? Apparently not. Bullshit. At least he's publicly known to be that. Hopefully he won't cause problems for us. We're gonna go pet our dog and go to a brothel. It's that time of year. Beautiful, beautiful. We have no stress at all. Life is good. We've got a dog. We've got a brothel right down the road we can get to within 20 minutes. Our wife is completely fine with it too. Life is fucking good. Except for our sons and our grandsons. But that's, you know, we've done what we can. We got that event for all the wells drying up. We will give a little bit of aid, but not much. Almost ready to be knighted at 18. Pity I know her. Be nice to have an intra-house tourney for just people in your household. It would be like a training system or something like that, or like a mock sort of thing. I hope that the Game of Thrones, I mean, they've worked so hard just to get out this release, and now they got to work on updating, but I hope in the future they work on, like, with the tours and tournament system, like a much more in-depth system for, like, training knights, training children, as well as, like, tournaments and stuff. I hope they do. They've already been very willing to go out of their way to add new things like that, so we'll see. Trying to increase our authority, too. Nobody to oppose us. We're going to send our spy master to the capital to find secrets. Let's get control back. $68. We don't have much left of our life at this point. Oh, we still have 37 prowess, though. Goddamn. Yeah, his health is poor. Stubborn offsets the fucking health effects of frozen grief. So does stoic. And our wife died. Till death do us part. How could a heart endure this pain without breaking? It cannot be possible. We did love our life. We were soulmates. She was kind of the perfect medieval wife. Very competent, very capable, from a great household, gave us a bunch of kids, let us screw around and didn't give a shit. Kind of the perfect wife. God damn. She's one of the better spouses I've ever seen in CK3, I'm gonna be honest. Like, wasn't causing us problems and actually was competent and gave us kids. Like, that's a rare mix right there. And loved us and probably didn't cheat. Probably. Maybe. There were rumors that she did. We never knew for certain. We'll soldier on without her. Soulmates while Arthur was banging around, true. I'm just gonna go with that she was just, like, straight up asexual and didn't care. We'll go with that, because, I mean, I think that's, like, what Chase not entirely is, but is more in line of. He probably will bang around even more now that she's dead. I mean, if I hadn't just used the event, we would have dealt with our problems by going to the brothel, so. No secrets on Angron. Keep looking. Wait. We found a secret on House Well. The fuck is this? Doncella. She's just a courtier. No. Keep looking for secrets. We need a claim. Or not a claim. We need a hook, rather. Rip indeed. My vassal approaches me. That's the same thing. Dog shit all over his stuff. We're not going to pay him. He's a minor vassal. The court smiths. Let's get a captain of the household guard. We'll go with Garrison Windane. Keeper of the cells. We'll go with Dominic Marston. That way we don't have to see his face, even with the helmet on. Get a Kittle Master. We'll go with Aiden Wattel. Seneschal. Bernard Dayne. We'll make our son the Seneschal. And we'll get a... What's sudden? Arthur is dead. Fuck. That was out of the blue. I thought he was doing all right. Died of old age. It was his time. Lord Arthur of the Torrentine has abandoned his mortal coil at 68 years of age. He died of old age. A paragon of valor and gallantry? Ish. He will always be remembered for his cordial and just nature in face of all odds. That's just not true. That is inaccurate. It appears our son has a very good minister of propaganda. No. Arthur will be remembered for being the greatest tournament knight in recent Westeros history and winning several great tournaments, as well as leading troops alongside Robert Baratheon to fight when who was it? Aegon landed with all his troops. He'd also be well known for, like, you know, fucking lots of women and legitimizing 5 bastards, and for the war to take a throne of another major house in his lands. So he would not be well respected for his morality. That's not what it is. Now we've got Felix. Lord Arthur summoned me, our father. He's on his deathbed and there's little time left. There are a few other people nearby, all standing solemnly. With a labored breath, our father proclaims us a knight. Oh, he knighted us on his deathbed. Fuck, that's really nice. Goddamn. The joy I feel is quickly replaced by my feelings of regret and sorrow, as I am told by a servant that Lord Arthur will not survive the hour. He knighted us on his deathbed. Goddamn. Even while dying and barely, like, cognizant, Arthur still had the prize in mind. Goddamn. In honor of our father, we'll do what he wanted. There we go. There we go. We'll do what he wanted. All right. We are Felix Dayne. We are 18 years old. Impatient, arrogant, vengeful, and generous. A skilled tactician, unyielding defender, knight, handsome, scarred, and a skilled fighter. Solid prowess. Not that bad, actually, all things considered. We will, of course, follow our father. Would we? We might go diplomatic, to be fair. We are a Dane. I'm conflicted. I think he could go down either path here. I'm going to throw it to a poll simply because I cannot decide. I think Felix is the type who knows he's not the greatest swordsman. He's competent, but he's not great. He also knows that his father was a great knight and a great swordsman, but despite that, his lack of any diplomatic ability like destroyed him. Also, thank you for the follow, Frederick Fernandez. I did not see that follow earlier. If you're still here, respond to that. Pull. Like, we do have martial traditions, and we can switch later, but I think there's a good chance this character would not go that route, so I will make the pull for that. Alright. Look at our brother betrothed to his wife. We need to find ourselves a wife. Our father never did that. And let's pick our council, too. For our Castellan, we need someone who we can trust. We're not paranoid like our father, but we need a good one. We'll go with Lord... We're going to make Cassiel our marshal because we can trust him. For our actual marshal, we're going to go with Lord Guerin of High Hermitage, one of the Red Steels, historical friends of our family. For our chancellor, we're going to go with, oh my actual god, Lady Nysa of Seven Dunes. She is 36 Diplo. What the fuck? We'll go with Lady Nysa. For our steward, we will go with... We need to give him a position so he doesn't rebel. So we'll go with Lord Clarion. For our spy master, we'll go with Lord Ronan, who's competent and loyal. We'll keep Aaron Solani as our admiral, and we can't change our septum. So there's our court. We'll pay homage to our liege. We, like our father before us, will have a bone to pick with him, but we're not zero Diplo, so we'd not make it very clear. All right, went well. No issue. And we need to find a wife. Marshall. Okay. I'd go for the Reach, but our family historically dislikes them so much. That's interesting. There's an Aaron who's the leader of a mercenary band in Starfall. Whoa. Super interesting. The Stone Dornish Band of Starfall. They're a mercenary band of almost 3,000, 2,000, a little over 2,000 soldiers who are currently in Starfall, and they are headed up by like a second son of House Aaron. That's super interesting. And he has two daughters. One of them is Homely, who we would have no interest in. But his second daughter shares a lot in common with us. She's also arrogant. She's also not chaste, generous. Not super competent. She's a member of House Aaron. Her father is the leader of a powerful mercenary band. But would we marry someone like that? I'll look at the other options first. There's also the Baratheon. There's a Stark we could marry. The sister of the current Lord Paramount of the North. We have no incentive to do that, though. It need to be someone sort of more nearby. I mean, that's a name with a lot of honor to it, but our family is already so well known and we're arrogant, so we wouldn't feel the need to do that, right? A lot of Tyrells. They're still landed, they're just not super powerful. Get to know her first? Perhaps. Yeah, there is the Martell. That's true. We're friends with her. Princess Nysa, the firstborn daughter of Lord Angron. We actually are friends with her. I didn't realize that. We have a lot of friends. We're friends with Jerisa Casimir. We're Princess Nysa of Dorne. Eleonora Hole, and Loritza Penhollow. Wow. Given we already befriended her in our youth, I think we're gonna try and betroth her. Let's see what her father says. Patrilineal marriage, no. You want some matrilineal marriage. We have even more reason to go after our father now, don't we? We'd be an ambitious man, or a vengeful man. We'd feel like House Dayne deserves more, and her fucking father will not let us betroth her. We have a faction install Lord Conran of Gold Peppers on the God's Grace throne. Because we hold 2 duchy titles. Well, let's go ahead and grant the whole duchy to our brother. No, because he needs to have kids and he still hasn't. Fuck. Otherwise, we'll lose it. We don't have a claim. The out of old age, Truckanero. Our options are very limited here. If we can get a hook on the High Sparrow, we can get a claim, I think, on Dorne. Fuck. I'm going to send my spy master to King's Landing, and we're going to try and get something on the High Septum. If we can get a secret and a hook on him, we could force him to recognize the historical claim that we have on not just the Torrentine, but therefore on a lot of Dorne. What I think we're going to do is, RP-wise, Felix is not going to get married. What he's going to do is he has a desire for vengeance against Lord Paramount due to the actions of the last generation. He wished to seek a betrothal to his childhood friend, the daughter of Lord Paramount Angron, but when he asked, he was explicitly refused. And given that he's actively beginning to plot, our father would have talked a lot about becoming Lord Paramount. I mean, he had no diplomatic, he was Diplo Zero, so he would have talked quite loudly about it too to anyone who would listen. So we definitely have that. We're not ambitious, but we're not also humble. We're going to remain unmarried. We're going to try and get a claim on the Lord Paramountcy, and we're going to try and find allies. And then we're going to take a shot at becoming the Lord Paramount ourselves, and then marry his daughter. Yep. We're going to demand a council position as well. Let's demand spy master. And we cannot be fired. Yep, that was a good move by our father to do that. We're always going to be on his council even if he doesn't want us to be. We'll go for chivalry. Yeah, as a backup, we'll marry the Stark daughter, but I do want to try and go this route first. Wrath of Torrentine. Through conflict brings wrath to all someday. None are so blighted as the hero's prey. So let none challenge his bold intent, unless to hereafter they wish to be sent. Also, I am going to stop here, I think. I do have something at 1, and I want to go grab something to eat real quick, so I'm going to do that. We'll end here for today. Next Wednesday, we will do a longer one of this, because I have nothing afterwards. And during next Wednesday's House Dayne campaign, we are going to attempt to try and take the Lord Paramountcy from our Lord, marry his daughter, and make House Dayne finally sit upon the throne of Dorne. So that will be next week. I think we'll end there. Nope, no stream later today, just the one. Wednesdays will be smaller streams generally, just heads up on that. Yeah, it was an interesting day though. This is good to know. I added a bunch of, I changed around my OBS a bunch, so I actually know what the fuck I do wrong here. Let me know. Is this working? Yeah, there we go. That should be fine. All right. I was looking for someone to raid. We're going to raid Corbett. He's a cool dude. Fun streamer. We'll go raid him. Because I did do a shorter stream, and I'm sure y'all want more CK3, so we'll go raid him. He's doing from CK3 with tours and tournaments, which is a great DLC. I will be streaming Saturday morning. We're going to be doing the Grand Campaign Saturday morning because I have decided it'll be the first time we are going to have... one thing I want to start doing with the Grand Campaign is bringing in people to roleplay certain characters, certain countries, and certain events throughout history. So like in the Grand Campaign, it's single player, but I'll bring in like one person once in a while to play fun characters. We're going to have someone playing the Pirates Saturday morning. I got someone to RP the Pirates Force because I'm making Lysandria a pirate haven. So that'll be Saturday morning, and then Grand Campaigns will go back to Sunday afternoons. CK3 RP multiplayer Saturday afternoon, and then Sunday afternoon we have Vic 3. So just heads up on that. And a Millennium Dawn campaign will be starting after that. It'll be North Korea single player. So that is the future. Hope everyone has a good rest of their Wednesday, and I will catch you all soon.